All right, you guys, I got this thing. I built a crate out of scrap wood. And I got this motor swapped back out over the weekend. It's going back to Nebraska, Kearney, Nebraska, where they make these things. I think, I looked at the thing and I've kind of found it on the YouTubes. They had like a shortage of 302 blocks, and so they created their own with extra webbing, splayed 4-bolt main, things like that. And it's supposed to be pretty good. And this looked like one of those blocks because it had a splayed 4-bolt main on it. So yeah, I put the other motor back in the Bronco that I had, the old one, and left the fuel injection on it, and then now I gotta load this up and call the freight guy and have him come get it, and we'll just see what happens. But yeah, it's pulled it out. It was took, I don't know, a day and a half on the weekend to swap these things out. And what's funny is the other one with the fuel injection runs pretty good, but I know it's burning a little bit of oil. But it'll get me out to Moab and Central Colorado and Bronco Super Celebration West in the next few weeks, and have fun. I hope it's got one more run in it. It's running really good now. But yeah, we'll see. So I'm gonna ship this out. I'll show you the other motor in the 74. But yeah, the saga continues, and we'll see how long it takes them to rebuild this and send it back, because they said that's what they're going to do with this one. All right, bye. All right, guys, getting ready to go on another adventure. Got the Bronco loaded up. Got everything put in there. Pretty evening. Day before we launch. Got everything aired up, loaded up, strapped down. The old trimmer's doing real good. It pulls this thing like it isn't even there. So we're heading to Moab. We're going out there. We're gonna be 3 days in Moab. We're going to Central Colorado, basing out of Durango. We're gonna do 2 days there in Central Colorado. Gonna try to do Engineer Pass and some of the Alpine Loop. And then we're heading over to Buena Vista for the Bronco Super Celebration West. And I'll try to get some good film footage of all that. But yep, so we're loaded up and ready. Like I say, I'll piece this together. I got this deal, kind of don't know how much I showed you guys. I got a receiver here, so if this ever breaks, I can take this winch that I strap in here with this and hook it to that receiver, and then recover this. And I've got that plug, and then I've got a plug here, and also a set of jumpers that plug in it, so I can jump stuff off the back of the vehicle and off the front. And then this is kind of neat. I've showed this before, but it's that weigh safe. That's showing my tongue weight. I try to keep this thing to about 2,200 pounds, give or take, and I try to keep it about half of that on the tongue, and then that way it tows real nice. And yeah, and then I got this cover. It's pretty cool. I like these covers. It's a, what do they call it, a Retrax, and aluminum one. It's good. Works real good, real smooth. You can lock it in any position. So I can lock it right there, and it'll stay right there. Or you can put it, it's infinite. You can bring it closed or open. I'm going to be putting tools in there, so I got it open. And then because I keep impact and everything, I think it might be getting time. I don't know if we can pick it up here or not. I don't know if I can see it. I'll do it one-handed. But, let me see. I am trying to find the DOT code, whether I want to or not, on these tires. It might be that 33rd week 20. So it's 2020, the 33rd week. That's when that was produced, I believe, because I don't see anything else that represents. I don't know if you guys do. You see a little better in the camera. that represents a DOT number. Because usually it'll say DOT, then it'll say that number. But I noticed sometimes it doesn't. So 20, this is 24. These things about 4 years old, 33rd week. It says you want to run them 4 to 6 years. I'm going to run them 4 to 6 years. I'm going to probably run them 6 years. These, I don't know if you guys ever know how to read DOT numbers or not. These were 1722 because these are new. So 17th week, 2022. And then these are, they better be brand new, 42nd week, 2022, because it's a new truck. It's a 2022 truck. So yeah, that's how you read it. Of course, you know, the end week would be the end of December. 52 weeks in a year. It'd be 52/22 would be the end of the year. 42, I don't know, count. I don't know how many weeks 42 is. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. It's what would it be? October. I don't know. The either way, it's close enough. But yeah, that's how you kind of go on these tires. So 20, 4 years, pretty good. These do sit in the sun, so I expect them to short life. I'm real fussy about greasing these things, keeping the brakes right, and keeping the tires fresh, because you see people with blowed tires all the time. I'm running 65, which is the maximum on these poundage, and I check them for heat. They are Chinese, so I don't know. And then these run 80, and I keep an eye on these. I got them at 75 right now, because when it gets up to temperature, especially a little load out, they'll top out about 80, 82. They can go higher, you know, of course, because they can be 80 cold. But I let them do that, so, and that keeps them nice. They get a little hot, but they're not bad. These are pretty good so far, tires. I don't know. I'm not super impressed in the rain. I felt a little weirdness in the rain with them. I don't know. They're rugged tires though. Goodyear Duratrax. Yeah, so little lesson on how to read DOT numbers. I guess, you know, whether you wanted it or not. But then that's it. We're ready to go, and then load the tools and lock her up and see if I can't document some of this trip a little better. I want to get really more just better at the video piece of it, and piecing videos together, editing, just taking my time and doing that. I think I could get, you know, give you guys a lot more stuff, because I do a ton of stuff that's pretty advanced. I mean, oh man, there's people on the internet that just blow you away. But like this engine I put back in here because I sent the other one off to Blueprint, because I guess in previous videos you guys saw where it blowed a motor. Well, I went and thrashed a couple weekends ago and put the old 302 back in there. Can't really see it. I'm not going to open the hood. And it runs like a top with that fuel injection, but I know it's burning a little bit of oil. And if it can get me through one more trip, but the old motor's back in there with a fresh radiator, fresh water pump, and fresh spark plugs and wires, and a fuel injection. And it's seemingly to love right now, if that's the way to say it. It seems to love the fuel injection right now. I mean, it runs really good. Tiny bit of miss because of the number 3 cylinder, I think, just a tiny bit, but actually really impressive for, I think, pretty wore out old motor. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with that 306, that Blueprint motor, when I get it back, because they said they're going to give it back to me pretty quickly. So I don't know what I'll do with it. I don't know if I'll pull this 302 back out of this and put that 306 in that behind this, with this transmission with that Edelbrock ProFlow, because I do have this all pretty well set up and dialed in really good right now. I'll take this towel off. I mean, here it is. It's GTP 40 heads. Not supposed to work with those headers, but I think they are. Looks just like the other setup I got on the Bronco, but a little tight right in here, a little tight right in there, but that's why I put these boots on it. But the Bronco is the same way, but you're really not supposed to run these headers with that setup, but I am. So, and then I put a new water pump on this, new thermostat housing, new alternator. I had to fool around a different harmonic balancer for a 3-bolt, and I got new power steering. I got to hook that up still, and then I've got the drive shafts are all in. I've got the exhaust plumbed in. I've got to weld the hangers. I've got all the mounts completed on this, on the 66. I welded in plates here and then drilled through them and put stock mounts all back on it. And then I'll put 3-inch risers. Of course, you guys have seen that. And then this I had to move, when I did the engine swap, I had to move everything off this bench to use it to hold the parts for the engine. And so I moved a lot of it over here, and I painted the inside of this, or coated it with that it's underbody coating. I don't know, it's probably like a rough paint, but it's okay. It works for this, because this is not going to be fancy. And then I got to cut out the opening in the dash, and but I got screens that are going to go in the fender wells. Got to put them in. I got to put the brake in, and the clutch pedals and stuff. This piece here back in there with the brake set up, and no brake setup ain't over here. It's laying over there. And then these are the body lifts that are going to raise it. And then got all that lined up. Of course, I kind of had showed you guys that. And then, once I do those 2 or 3 things, I'm going to set the body back on here, put the steering wheel in, and then I'll be doing a lot of custom work on that dash. And then I'm going to run all the electrical. And I did the hood pins on this. I don't know if I showed you this, so bear with me if I did show it, forgive me. But I painted under the hood, got that all set, cut out the fender wells. Of course, I think I showed you guys that. Put these gas struts in there, and the hood pins. I like these hood pins. They're really pretty trick. Mounted the new battery box and rebuilt all that rotted out stuff, and rebuilt all this and cleaned it up. Good enough. And then there'll be a little box that goes there that holds stuff. I'm going to take that piece out and clean that up. And then there's going to be that not undercoating, but sound deadener under there. And then I'll set it back on here. This got stalled out a little bit, this project. I have a hardtop Ford out here too I got to work on, but this got stalled out. There's the wiring for it and all that, because I had to go back and do the motor on the 74. Otherwise, I'd probably already have the body back on this and have it back looking like all one piece. I don't even know, it might even be running. But and I got my little setup here for the clutch. I think I showed you guys that. Yeah, I did. And I'm curious to see how that's going to work out. And then I'm real excited about this 5-speed. I talked to a guy at the Bronco show, and he'd done one of these in his, and he said he loved it. It just was fun to drive. And in 411 gears with that 5-speed, if this motor's strong like I think it is, 302 roller with GTP 40 heads, supposedly real strong motor. We'll see. If it's like what I think it is, it ought to be fun. It ought to be a fun little rig to drive. I got all the brake lines ran. Of course, I showed you all that, and then all the drive shafts were rebuilt and retubed, except for this one didn't get retubed. He just put a new yoke on it and fixed it. But I'm going to probably put a bigger output shaft setup on here, which will push that yoke in a little bit more, which it needs, I think. Of course, when you get a little weight on it, it'll set down. Yeah, well, I know that kind of turned into a little longer video than what I wanted. But I'm going to try to piece together some more and give you guys some more video and of things that we're doing. And I've got a short video of the engine before I send it back to Blueprint. Man, I'm just nervous about it now that that it had a problem. I got this 73 302 sitting here. I probably could have done something with it. It's a 2-piece rear main seal. I said it's a good motor, but I didn't fool with it. It's a 2-barrel motor, It's not a roller, it's a regular hydraulic lifter motor. And then I got all the parts, a bunch more parts for the 66 over here. And then these are those insert screens like what the 74 has. And a new steering wheel, new steering column. This is the brake setup and all that stuff, and a lockable glove box, and all those things, emergency brake cables, and all that stuff that'll finish it out. Sound deadener, and then there's a set of seats over there and a center console for it. And then I got a guy that's president of Georgia Bronco Club, or was. He's got the roll cage in his that we're going to put in this one. It's a complete cage, and it has the piece that goes across the front here and hooks in down there, so it'll have a complete cage. This one will be more robust than the 74. Anyways, guys, I'll keep you up to date on this little adventure we're going on, and hopefully it'll turn out. So hopefully nothing weird happens and this motor holds together one more trip, and then and we'll have some fun. See you later. Bye.